So whenever he's ready, he can get into the free play menu, because this is going to be a free play speedrun of LEGO Indiana Jones 2 on the DS. This game is known for being not good at all. Alright. So I will just let him pick a character and then I will count him down. Alright, looks like we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, good luck, Nice Fighter. LEGO Indiana Jones 2 is a barren wasteland. There are like no enemies in this game. Well, I say that, but there are enemies right off the bat. The levels are just like so bizarrely chosen though. But we're starting at Uga Ruins, which is Act 3, Level 3. There are 12 levels, all based on Crystal Skull. For the DS version of this game, the remakes of like the original 3 movies, they're still in the game, but only as challenge modes. Okay, nice. Marion bottle jump right there. That's kind of a tricky skip, actually. There are different ways of doing it. You can do it with something called jump storage, which will be like a key term for a couple different DS games we actually have. I'll explain that a bit later because it should be coming up. Here is a section where he will get chased by a rolling statue. And there is absolutely nothing that will happen here except for going further down, and I don't believe there is a way to speed it up. But he is showcasing shovel jumps. Now, I am pretty sure, based on my experience running this game, that doing this to go forwards does not save any time. However, in later levels, you will see him doing this to cross gaps that you shouldn't be able to single jump over, but it gives you an extra boost. Man, I do not miss playing LIJ2 and having to deal with the back and forth of just slowness. But fortunately, he does not have to free any of the characters because he already has the abilities unlocked as free play. One of the abilities being the Crystal Skull, which you can use to move objects like that. Alright, so in the middle of levels, there are sometimes these challenges. Some of them you want to complete. I may even be remembering completely wrong. This one, you just are passive and die as soon as you can. And then you move on. Alright, so this room is like... I have nothing to say. It's late at night and I'm commentating for LEGO Indiana Jones 2 on the DS. So this game is like... I keep trying to say things about this game and having nothing come up, and that's about accurate. But yes, there are going to be a few challenges, like Lego puzzles, not even puzzles on the way up. Almost like mini platforming challenges. Timing challenges as well, I guess. And there's gonna be a lot of them on the way up. And then his reward for getting to the top of this temple will be a complete mess of will the AI work with you or not. But yeah, I actually did watch recently the Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones 4, and it wasn't like as bad as people say it is. It was just extremely underwhelming. You know, he wasn't as bad aside from the plot points that never work, like the fridge. The fridge plays a big part in this game, by the way, so do look forward to that. I believe the reason that Nice Fighter starts on this level is to get the jump in the first room out of the way. And also, oh, nice block warp there. That's a different strat that I hadn't thought of, but yes. Once you get the thing in the middle to go in, the block warps to it. Which is nice, it skips a slower section. These green pads, if you didn't know, are pads where you can throw light characters over. And then this one tiny button makes the stairs appear. Alright, so this is, I'm gonna be interested in how nicefighter deals with this. I guess, yeah, going up as Mutt makes sense. Those walls are things that Mutt can climb. I don't know if there are, like, other characters that have that ability. Like, the game doesn't even explain it to you, it's just a thing that Mutt does. Alright, so, yeah. Get Marion to carry the torch, and then have to swap to Mutt to throw Marion up. Marion counts as a light character. And then we blow up these vines or whatever. And this is a section where they enter the ruins. I cannot think of the proper name, but in story this is an absolute pain because you have to whip all the green things, but nicefighter is able to bring a gun character in free play, which is easy as long as your partner is not run, but it's not too awfully different. Whoop. Having some internet troubles it looks like, but yeah, dealt with that section pretty swiftly. And now this happens. Like, when I watched the movie, I was surprised at how similar it actually was to the section of the game. But yes, now he's inside, he just falls, and that is faster. There's no punishment for that. Alright, so one level down. Let's see where we're going next. I am not completely familiar with the route. Oh yes, if you can see the mouse, that's because nicefighter is playing on emulator, which is allowed, and that would of course be used for touchscreen. Alright, so Nazca Asylum. They made a whole level out of this when there was really nothing here in the movie, but good for them, I guess. The level they made, by the way, has precisely 0 enemies, but what we will see is an object clip. Door like that, alright. So what I do plan on doing, by the way, is donating $1 for every missed object clip, and that's none so far, I guess. This is, I guess, kind of a cool platforming section, but they completely made this area up. I don't know, like, what this is even supposed to be. Like, they get here and they have to go through a whole airport fiasco. Whoops. Yeah, you have to get on the suitcase like that. And then they're gonna pop out the other side and have to deal with the RNG crate. So, yeah, they're looking for a blue crate here that is RNG on whichever box it shows up in. And also, what he had to do was control a vehicle. And that is always bad news in this game because vehicles are tank controls. This room, I will mention, has an emulator-only skip. It seems to be emulator only because when you go to the next room, it crashes on console. Like, I've been able to do the clip that you could do to get through this room, but then when I change characters in the next room, because of the way you have to clip through with a character swap, the game just cannot handle it on console. So that means what we have to do is throw 3 of these crates into the truck. I honestly have 0 idea what this was meant to represent, but there you are. Now I may be wrong, but I think we have an unread donation, Justin. This would be a pretty good time if that's the case.
Yeah, sure thing. We have a $50 donation from Jank Pickle. No comment, but thank you very much for the donation.
Awesome, thank you very much. Alright, so we're just getting the remainder of the crates here. Um, yeah, it looks like he made a bit of a mistake, but now he's going to carry them over with both characters. One thing about the handheld games is like even when there are two players, 1P2C is really, really, really uncommon. Like I've only seen it done in a singular IL in Lego Indiana Jones 1. But yes, you can still have your partner carry things like that to help. Alright, so there are no enemies in this stage, but the asylum patients will do their best to mess you up. Um, that being said, in free play, you have the luxury of being able to skip most of this room. You do not actually have to deal with them anyway, I believe. I hope I haven't spoken too early. But yes, being able to switch between Indy and Mutt freely here is very nice. You don't have to deal with the garbage. Yep, going straight up, and you have to ring this bell to open the door. And then we're going to go in and do another object clip. So there's going to be a long cutscene first, where it shows you that you're supposed to get the 4 asylum inmates. Inmates? What's the word? I'm so sorry if that's like completely the wrong term and maybe a bit offensive. I'm so tired. Um, but yes, you're supposed to get them back into their cells. I mean, it's kind of like a prison the way it works here. And yes, what nicefighter's gonna do is skip like that. Okay, that worked. That was fast. That was clean. I'm impressed. Alright, it looks like we're going to Doomtown. In story, this is really, oh no, we're going to Hangar 51 first. That makes sense. So actually, wait, why were the doors already open? Did you shoot that quickly? I didn't notice that was a thing. So Hangar 51 is the first level in the game where you go through the crates, and like for a first level in the game, it really doesn't introduce you to any enemies for a long, long time. Like there's only one spot for enemies in the entire level, and it is right at the end. But yes, he's going to do some fast climbing. I mean, right now it doesn't look that fast, but there are skips you can do. Um, looks like we're waiting for... There we go. Because we needed the partner to get up so we can throw them up there. But yeah, in free play, you can speed it up. Honestly, I don't know if it's any different to story. Ah, this one I'm not familiar with. So that was... You're actually seeing a bit of jump storage there, which is done by character swapping really shortly after you leave the ground. So in different games, it functions differently. Um, I don't know the precise number of frames in this game, but you just do it like really, really soon after, like a frame or two, I would say. And yes, then they find the crystal skull, and we go to this room. This is a Lego challenge pad. No thank you. So yeah, no enemies, but like disembodied gunshots. And we're gonna see shovel jumping. We have the warehouse keeper, who is a non-existent character, as far as I could tell from watching the movie. Yes, the shovel jumping here will help us cross some gaps early. It's never really a risk, even when you don't have invincibility turned on, getting killed by these shots. I think it's only happened once. Here is a big gap that you should not be crossing with a single jump, but he does it anyway. Just like that. I believe he's going to get up to this bar early. I didn't even know you could do that until I watched, I believe it was his free play grunt percent run. Which, yes, by the way, Nice Fighter is so far the only runner to do a handheld grunt percent. It was in free play, but nonetheless very impressive to go through them all. Climbing up these ropes. It's as simple as it looks. Then we're gonna go through these crates. Such creative design here. I mean, you gotta give props to the designers. Once we get to the top of this chain, there will be some more gaps. There will be some like bars to hang on to if you don't make the gaps, but generally we want to avoid that. It's a little bit slower. So I presume we're gonna see some shuffle jumping here. Well, we could. Yeah, there you go. There's also these balance beams, which unfortunately they are slow, and that's just the way it goes. Not really hard to control though. I think when I was like 9 and I first played this game, I was not good at them at all. But also when I was 9 and first played this game, I couldn't really figure it out. Because there are some annoyingly cryptic things in this game that are just genuinely not well designed. Alright, and now enemies actually exist. I think you kill like 7 or 8 of them. Never mind, it's 6. And then the glass cracks, and yeah, you go on this train. This is another challenge section, but what he's gonna do is just fail it instantly, because once that happens, the level is over. Alrighty, now we're probably going on to Doomtown, although I'm ready to be proven wrong. Yep, looks like it. Alright, so this is... yeah, there's gonna be another huge lack of enemies right here. This is one of the longest levels in the entire run, and I think there is a single spot where enemies show up. Because this is a level where, I mean, they extended it an awful lot. This is the level where in the movie, um, they go on the thing at the end of the. I don't know what I'm talking about. He takes this trip on a train-like thing that probably should have shocked him way more than it did, and he ends up in a nuclear testing station and doesn't realize it. But they had to make a whole extended level, and they really went ham with it. Except they didn't go ham with making it fun at all or challenging. Let's see what Nice Fighter is going to do with the big rope coming up. Yep. I'm not too surprised that happens. That's pretty common. Hanging on to this rope. Because he does want to like fall as low as he can to get a big swing. Yep. Normally you would have to go a little bit higher on that rope swing, but using a shovel jump, or indeed an umbrella jump as you saw there, you can get the extra distance. Here is another challenge. Do you think Nice Fighter can get 50,000 studs? I don't know, place your bets. So he's gonna get to the end of the slide. I'm not aware of any tech to speed this up other than just don't get hit on the spikes, question mark? You can jump, even though you're sliding. You can jump. Oh hey, look at that, 50k studs. But yes, at the bottom of this, you're supposed to step on a challenge pad to play whack-a-mole to progress. However, Nice Fighter is going to pick up a sheep. Yes, a real sheep. It looks so much like a sheep. And this is a really tricky setup. Yeah, that didn't look quite right. Gotta be quite precise, and he needs to go through with both characters. That might just about work. Okay, he's gonna realign that, so I'll count that as one miss. This could work. I would say that maybe needs to be a bit further to the top of the path. That's definitely too close. I could again be wrong. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about once again. This sheep clip is really weird. Okay. Yeah, that's a really cool sheep, and that's still faster than doing the whack-a-mole way. Because you have to play the whack-a-mole challenge to get a blue brick, to build a thing, to open the gate. Long story short. But yeah, Indy's still gotta make his way through all kinds of things, other gardens that may or may not be real. I believe to avoid taking fall stun there, just to mention, he held down right. Ah, the infamous pool room. So what these blue bricks are going to do is build a drain, or a drain cover, so that he can turn on the water and fill up the pool so that a picnic table can float in true Lego logic fashion. There it goes. I usually push it first, so I was like, hello? Does the water just eat it up? But yes, I'm sure nicefighter knows what he's doing. More character swaps to get a tiny bit of a height boost. Likely with jump storage. Ah, a car. Oh no, 2 enemies. And they're dead. Wow, that was the level's one shot at trying to kill you with enemies. Alright, so now he's gonna progress through the fake backyards and whatnot, because this is the nuclear testing ground. We will, in fact, see the fridge. The famous fridge. Oh, this is an interesting strat I hadn't seen, where you jump off that, and then, yes, doing this as the warehouse keeper. The characters that this gives you, because Indy should do this on its own, but you know, it's a 2-player game at this point, so it's gotta give you a second character. The character it gives you is the warehouse keeper, who already doesn't exist from the last level, but they had to add him in here too. I'm gonna have to look at what these character swap strats are, although I guess you can't do these in story because you only have 2 characters. So that would make sense. These are free play only. Over that, not too bad. Now he has to crank this well all the way up to make it so that it this crank is at its highest point that you can stand on and go over. And then we will enter this house. And then there will be a countdown where he has to find 3 blue bricks. And you'll never guess what these blue bricks build. It's gonna be really cool. Once again, utilizing both characters to carry them. Hey, it's a fridge. Better hide in it. Alright, and that's the level. So we already covered the final level, 4 levels each. So we've done 1, 2, and 4 so far, going into 3, which will be Escape the Russians. Because the game felt bad about not giving you enemies before, it's going to make you beat them up at the beginning of this one. And you may notice there that even though nicefighter went further along in the room, the game is mean and puts him back to a certain point once the cutscene is active. This room right here is kind of a pain in story because of the character management with only 1 controller. But with the ability to switch freely, you can just go through it like this. Pretty simple. Jumping off the wall nice and early, a decent optimization. It looks like he's gonna take the bike. Well, as far as that, I guess. But the bike comes with us to the next room anyway. This room is, you might call it a meme, because we're going to be doing something very silly once we climb this wall here as much. We're going to push this bizarre, I don't know, what is it? This is like a statue of a chef making sausages, and then we're going to cut them with these giant scissors and make a way into the next room. We've got the motorbike back, and I believe he's going to do another free play exclusive clip, which would involve character swaps. So he's going to get this blue brick, kind of like he did at the beginning of Nazca Asylum. Set it up like that, and hopefully do a bit of a precise character swap. Is it there? I think the setup is good. Okay, it looks like it wasn't quite in the right spot. So that's going to count as one miss object clip. Alright, there you go. Now, this is like, if you've played this casually, like, twice, first of all, why have you done that? And secondly, this is probably a room you dread, but fortunately, with that positioning of the motorbike, it's a really easy skip, and the library usually takes like 3 minutes. But then we have just a 1-minute waiting section here. You know that scene in the movie where the car is chasing the bike and they sort of lure the car to hit the statue? Well, now they have to lure it to hit the statue many times. But yes, this is just a time section. I have nothing else to say except stay hydrated, chat. I'm gonna take a drink. And you should too. Refreshing. Poor Brody. He doesn't deserve this. Studs really go flying out, and by the way, the true adventurer totals in this game are ridiculously high. Like, I think it's like 160,000 in Doomtown or something. Okay, so that is Act 1 finished. Oh boy, this is like my least favorite level in the whole game. Ariana's tomb. This like strays the most from the usual Lego logic that you would usually see. Oh, hold up, there's a carry strat. I think I see what he's going for. I didn't actually know what this was a strat, but okay. Okay, yeah. I think I know what that would have done. But yeah, it's still accomplished, like, more or less what he was going to do anyway. But yes, the main thing I don't like about the design is, like, really? You just decided to add teleports into this level? Which, yeah, you will see this level has, like, teleporting stations in Indiana Jones. I guess they're like, the movie has aliens, so let's just do this. But here we go. Whee! Just like that. So this is a just like that. So this is a
died or whatever. Oh, hold on. Looks like we're back up. Okay, I think we're back up.
All right. He was aware. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. You haven't missed much. This is the wind torch room, though. Like, really, really infamous part. So you have to light this torch and carry it through the tunnel before the timer goes out. You're supposed to like stick to the path, but even if you do that as closely as you can, sometimes the torch just goes out anyway. The first try, that's a relief to have done. What we also get to skip, like a little bit, like in the room before that wind torch, is the worst control scheme I have ever seen in a challenge. Fortunately, it is not needed for anything in any percent of free play, but it would be needed for Hundo or indeed all artifacts if anyone would ever be brave enough to run such a category. Because the control scheme in that challenge uses 3 different ways to control. It involves the control pad, the touchscreen, and the microphone. Just think about that for a second. Like, I've honestly never known any worse control scheme. But yes, we were able to skip that, as funny as it would be. So yes, this is where the game introduces us to small enemies that you can actually kill by jumping on. They're pretty annoying, but I don't know if I prefer them to regular enemies. In free play, it doesn't matter because you should have one shot turned on. There's this room here where you have to climb a lot, and I'm going to assume that we can skip a lot of the usual stuff because it's free play and we can switch characters freely. Interesting strat jumping off that there. It's probably story viable. But yeah, he's going to get up here, and then there's still going to be more to climb after this, and I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to mute my microphone real quick. Alright, more climbing. Whoa. I don't know exactly what happened there, but he got to the top. I can tell you one skip that happened at the end, and that was that there's a thing you break behind the door to end the level. And you can break it through the door. You don't actually have to open it, and that's actually a pretty decent time save. Alright, Soviet camp starts off with a piece of jump storage. Definitely the most annoying one that I've had to deal with in any percent. Like, honestly, that was really not bad, what happened right there. Free play, you also get to skip Oxley RNG, because in any percent, Oxley can appear in any of the 4 tents. And that's no fun. He's going to be doing another bit of jump storage here to do a big skip in the swamp section in this next room. This is going to be jump storage to give a little boost after doing a shovel jump or an umbrella jump. They work more or less the same way when you attack in the air. Alright, so jump like that, and nicely done. Unfortunately, free play does not help here. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it actually does help. Why is the AI... Okay. The AI is not smart enough to do that in any percent. I'm really jealous of what I just watched. Because the AI tries to go all the way around, even when you are not Mutt. The AI is Mutt cannot figure out how to climb those walls in story mode. Either way. So I don't remember this part of the movie where they go on a lot further after the swamp, because from what I remember from that, they get recaptured after they saved from the swamp because Oxley went and got help. The only help he knew. However, we're just going to ignore all of that and continue on our way. This is a puzzle where you have to get the blue brick from one side to the other without a standard platform, so he just puts the brick on this elevator here, or crane box, and over it goes. This, by the way, like once you build what's inside the box here, the indication of what happens is like so unclear of what you're meant to go, or of where you're meant to go after this. See, like suddenly there's steam coming out of this crane. What that actually means is now you go on this platform yourself, and the platform takes you down. Like where? What is that? What even is that? Interesting. I guess that's small optimization. Overusing the pad. Good to know you can do that. I will mess around with it. But yes, once again using tank controls to do this. And he's opting to go over to the right first, which is not something I do, but I can... I don't know. I won't argue. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I was not aware of that shit, but using a bit more jump storage to get through. And then we'll go into, excuse me, a really annoying, like, beach section that, again, this just does not exist, but it does in the game. And there's, like, no real challenge. Well, actually, this is kind of challenging in an annoying way if you do it casually, but with jump storage on our side, we get to skip the most annoying parts, as long as he does not fall in the water here. You get to skip the part with a torch, and then just pop up right at the end. Alright, now it transitions into the jungle section where I guess you're going to escape the jungle cutter. Unfortunately, doing what he did just there doesn't actually save time, although he did throw his partner forwards, which you can do with small characters. Just to gain a bit of ground. This is not a case where you can just die to end it quickly, though, unfortunately. You do have to reach the end. So, once this part is finally over, we get to go into Jungle Chase. And yeah, the next level is going to be entirely on the backs of trucks. So they have a few more of them than I saw in the movie when I watched it a couple of weeks ago. So it's really weird how this game makes you run from the jungle cutter first, and then they somehow get captured, like, anyway, while they're already doing the jungle chase part. Because like the next level starts inside one of the trucks. Kind of a TARDIS-like truck. It's definitely bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. This level, I'm sure Nicefighter would mention if we were hearing his voice. You can almost one-visit this. You can get, I believe, 9 artifacts in story mode. Yes, the rocket launcher. The red power brick, by the way, there are no in-level red power bricks. You get them all from doing this thing called the island. Um, yeah, the island is a pain, but that's where all the red power bricks are in this game, as well as getting additional challenges themed around all 4 of the movies. I can't wait for Indiana Jones 3, where they retell 1, 2, and 3 for the 3rd time. So yeah, he's actually kept the rocket launcher. Forgive me, I am not up to term with my guns. I don't play games that have guns very regularly at all. So I'm just calling it a rocket launcher in general. Maybe some of these CSGO players can correct me, but alright. Now the cars start moving and there's gonna be platforming and stuff when we go to the next room. Imagine platforming in my LEGO game. Unbelievable. Ooh, okay. Nice. I like that. I like that. I had not seen that jump over to that truck. Makes sense though. Nicefighter has spent a bit more time with this game than I have. Whoops. Okay. Generous respawn. On this car, the respawn is not generous at all. It is very, very punishing. Looks like going for some jump storage to get up here. Yeah, I believe we're coming up on the end of this room too. And the car is ready. Ah, I lied. I forgot about this truck, this very important truck. Because, you know, it's really easy to tell what stage of the level you're at. I hope everyone's been noticing like how very different each stage of this level is. Unfortunate they're getting knocked off. Ooh, that's harsh, going back to the end of the truck. And yes, now it should take forward to the duel. The sword duel that looks honestly really, really lame. Although it's kind of one of those laughable moments in the movie where it's like, this is not happening. I'm sorry, this is not happening. But I hope you're following the tutorial for what the controls are because it will be on the test later. Stabbing and dodging. Driving and speeding. Alrighty. So we've got 1 left in Act 2, and then 3 in Act 3, because the first level we played was from Act 3. Nicefighter's split name for this next level is called Actually Not That Bad, or something to that effect. I don't know if I agree. I have had my fair few aggressive words to say against this level and escape, but we'll see. I hope my yawns are not too audible on stream, by the way. It's not... I hope I'm not selling this game as too badly. Like, when I learned to speedrun it, it got maybe a bit more bearable. Generally, I cannot recommend this game casually in the slightest. Only if you're, like, desperately curious for all the handheld games. By the way, there was nothing straight on there, but yes. I'm not actually getting bored watching this run. I've just been up for like 18 hours at this point. So yes, like the movies show, or the movie singular shows, you can use the crystal skull to make the ants scurry away from you, and you can walk through safely. Although these ones, you can't do anything about. You just have to time your jump. Right, more stuff with a brick. Blow stuff up. How about that? Yeah, so this part you have to destroy the ant mound to stop the ants from spawning in. And then get both characters on this platform so it can fall. And yeah, this is the part that like really got me annoyed at times. I guess maybe fast build could make it a little bit easier, although you shouldn't really need to build anything if you time it right. Uh-oh, okay, yeah. So the ant cycles here are really annoying. But you can go like 2 sections. Ooh, mistimed it there. Yeah, he'll probably build his first one, and then, yeah. So there are 4 bars to hold on to for safety. You can skip one, though, for every ant cycle. But if you make a mistake at the end of the section, you gotta go back to the beginning, which that really rubbed me the wrong way, running this. Don't jump off there, because that way you don't get any fall stun. Oh, whoa, how did you not die there? Not that it would have really mattered, because you'd have to wait for that cycle. Okay, go to the second bar, move along, and hopefully now jump and get to the 4th. Yep. And escape the ants. Oh, okay. He does not need to let down his partner because it is not story mode. Ah, now we have another ant slide. Do you think, my friends, that nicefighter can beat this in under 28 seconds? I think it's impossible. I mean, I shouldn't say that because, like, I wouldn't put it past this game to have an impossible challenge. But no, I'm being sarcastic in this case because, like, I've never seen like slower than a 25. You can get 23 pretty easily, but nicefighter took a knock against the spikes or whatever they're meant to be. And now he must climb. And at the top of the climb, who else should he find but Dovchenko? This boss battle is, it's funny. I don't know. It's not like laugh out loud hilarious, but it's like, why did they make it do this? So they, yeah. You have to knock him off, and then he gets carried away, but then he comes back for more. In between phases, there's going to be 2 ants, 2 bigger ants, I guess, that jump out. You have to destroy. And yeah, that looks like it's a finished battle. Oh, I forgot you have to do the two ends at the end too. And the level's over. 3 levels left. So the first one of Act 3 is River Chase, I believe is the name. Like, they did not get creative with naming the levels in the DS version at all. Like, there's like 3 levels that have escape in them. There's 2 that are just something chase. Yeah. Generally very unimpressive. Much like this whole game. Unimpressive is being kind. But yes. Even though this is like a really, really bad game, I remember Justin said it belongs in the G tier of games. Even though this is a really bad game, I hope you have enjoyed watching this run. I wanted it to be showcased in LEGOthon, even if it's just this once. I hope there is like potential to have many more interesting skips found. Because there is some movement tech we have, like with the shovel jumps and the jump storage. And we've also got object clips, which are not my favorite, but at least we have clips to skip the more boring parts. And yes, I do mean the more boring parts. Like, the game looks boring, and it is, but usually when there's a place to clip through, it's like extra boring. This is, yeah, a challenge section where you just fall through. I guess invincibility doesn't work in the challenges, huh? That's interesting. Can you see the bottom yet? There it is. Alright, so what actually happens is they get to the bottom of the waterfalls. There's like 3 of them or something. They all survive by some magic. And then they discover the entrance to the temple and they go down the thing that we already saw. However, this is a LEGO game and they needed to pad it out with barren wasteland levels, so there's still more to this level, and then there will be another level that really extra does not exist. But the game says it does. Oh yeah, trolled by a slow partner right here. I don't know if you've seen it or if I just haven't explained it yet, but you can drop these blue bricks quickly on the spaces they go on with a character swap. Although it looks like nicefighter hasn't actually been doing that. But you can instantly drop them with a character swap so that they go right on the pad. This part here is a bit finicky, to say the least. Like, where exactly do you use your knife on that? And it's not actually the same line as jumping onto this rope. But fortunately, he does know what he's doing, so he did not have any problems with it. And there's a dynamite, which the crystal skull moves by alien forces. Alright, the level's still not over. Don't get your hopes up, because we still have to climb this room, which honestly I completely forgot about. I was ready to go to the last room, but no, that's not yet. There's another room after this one. So he's gonna bring the blue brick up here. Kind of a risky move leaving that with the partner, but okay, no, it worked out fine. The partner can get distracted by the enemy, even if they're holding something, like they'll just stay in place and pretend to fight. One thing about this game as well is that usually in the two-player games, when your partner is trying to fight the enemies, they are not very successful. Hacks, you just went through the AI. But usually that your partner fighting is not very successful. However, in this game, they actually can take them out, which is actually one thing this game does that is useful. Alright, this is the room. This is a room in which I once experienced a very, very strange and also very detrimental down warp. So let's hope for that to not happen. Although I think because funny free play abilities. No, never mind, you need two characters at the top, so yeah, he's gotta do this stuff. But yeah, I think by this point he's already avoided getting the down warp. I asked Magecar, who's like the guru of the DS physics and why things happen. He had like an explanation. I don't know if it's the explanation, but it sounded completely whack and scary, and I hope it never happens again, but you never can tell. That's the level, finally. And now we move on to act number 2. This is Uga Temple, like before it's the ruins. And this is the part that really, really does not exist. They meet the Uga. Ooh. Okay, I thought he was going for a strat that I didn't know that would save a pretty decent chunk, but I don't know if he was just getting stuck behind the objects. This room has a really weird and dumb back and forth. Oh, okay, okay. Clever, jumping off that corner there. That's another shot I haven't actually seen. And it also looks story viable. That's nice. Yes, this fire burns down the cobwebs that we could not simply walk through before, because why could we? Why would anyone ever? Alright, so because this part of going into the temple doesn't actually exist, the devs thought, what can they do to make this interesting? And the answer to that is spikes, which will appear on every every third stair, which is marked as red. Bit of a timeless there with that, but you can go straight through afterwards anyway. So spikes is one thing, and what else? Let me think. How about lava? Yeah, we'll do lava. And then platforming between swinging hammers. Never mind. Nice. That was a pretty sweet shovel jump there. So that skips like sections where you have to like swing on ropes between hammers that will just instant kill you, even though they're flat. They don't even like let you get pushed by them and then fall into the lava. They just instantly kill you when they touch you. And then what he did there was both characters after playing that stops the hammers and they form platforms back here where he's headed to get to the exit of the room. Alright, so this is where accidentally picking up the small character there. But this is where we are introduced to an item that is is literally called a bamboom because it's made out of bamboo and it goes boom. So you light it on fire, throw it against the door there, and it explodes. Alright, I believe there's a skip to this crystal skull puzzle. Yeah. I mean, I'm aware of, like, being able to jump over like that pretty simply. Okay. Let's see. This would be a big skip if we can get it. Looks like it's going to be utilizing a shovel jump and then maybe a bit of jump storage to get a bit further. Another one I'm not familiar with, but if Mac is in story at this point, which he should be, it would be a time save. Looks difficult though, so hopefully you can get some good luck soon and get over there. What this skips is a really tedious block push section. So, like, this would be really, really worth it. Alright, you got this, nicefighter. This is the one. This is the one. Yes, alright. I don't actually know if he even did land back on there, but he got close enough to activate the event cutscene, which this game has a thing for putting characters in certain spots in event cutscenes to, like, undo any progress, but you can also use it to warp AI to you and whatnot, which is useful. Because outside of being able to defeat enemies for you, the AI in this game is really unhelpful. Like, slow. Very slow. When you play story mode, or any percent, you start out this game in an additional area before you can begin going into the levels. And, like, the first thing you have to do is just wait forever for the partner. It's really bad. It's gonna bounce up this room. Alright, this level you do have to step on the challenge pad to get through. I wish there was a skip to this, but nope. The challenge wants you to use the crystal skull to open the pit in the middle and drop them in there. Which the AI actually can ruin for you if they are defeating enemies for you, but the way to open the door is just to defeat all the enemies, which you can do with regular attacks, which go much quicker than actually trying to get them over here. This is a big room with, like, it goes on for a long time, and you're supposed to throw a couple bambooms into this thing to completely destroy the temple. Like, this really, truly does not happen. This does not exist in the movie at all. Like, stop. The movie's bad enough. I don't need this too. But instead, so nicefighter told me that he found a new setup for this clip. So I guess I won't go into exactly how it's done. The way I used to know was throwing it at a certain distance. Ah, but he's going to do the character swap method. And that looks like it should be good. Maybe it's not quite close enough. Alright, so that's going to count as one object. Clip miss. And therefore an extra $1. I'm counting it every time he has to reposition it, so that's 5 now in total for the run. Whoa, it's gone. Right. That was bizarre. Okay, one more level though. Escape from Akator. And this is in fact one of the longest levels, but yeah, he's gonna be pretty safely getting underestimate, which is always good. Nice yeet. Although, with this skip here at the beginning of this room, this was found shortly after I decided that I did not want to run this game anymore, which did not take long. Um, he's going to use, hopefully, yeah, collision noses breaks at the top if you can get up and drop down into the door, which would be below, but it actually skips quite a big chunk, because you have to go all the way to the right usually, and then drop down, and then back to the left. So yes. Um, I do not believe there is a skip to this waiting section here. These parts of the walls are just going to go in and out. It is a set order, it's not random, so he should be able to safely avoid it, but yeah, he's just going to have to sit through it, unfortunately. I got nothing to say here. Well, I hope you've been enjoying the run, despite how scuffed and admittedly boring this game is. But I hope the showcase of it has been worth it. I have enjoyed being here with you, even as tired as I am. I wish today was not a day that my body decided to wake up at 5:30 a.m. But here we are. I have been up for over 18 hours. And I am now commentating one of the worst games I've ever played. Still, it's got a couple of good things about the speedrun. There is Whoa, what was that? There is definitely potential for more things to be found. Like, we've got all kinds of different clips that Nicefighter has actually been working on finding himself. Like, find strats to do. But yeah, now he's got to open this door to get into the room with the other aliens, in which there will be the best boss fight of all time. Like, don't even try to argue with me. This will be the best boss fight of all time. So what? Hello, stream. Hello, stream? Okay, looks like we're back. Once again. Apologies for the internet issues, but yes, we are going. Basically what happens is that we just wait for stuff to drop that we can build. We build the aliens on their chairs. And then crystal skull panels drop. And you have to put the skull in all of them. It's gonna be 2 first, and then there will be 2 more after that. Like, this boss fight just goes... It's not even a boss. This game does not really have any legit bosses. There was some point we saw many hearts in this run, right? I just can't think of it right now. Other than the duel with Spalko? Huh, maybe not. I mean, there are so few enemies in this game anyway, so I'm not surprised. He does have to dodge these lasers. Laser trap? Yes, now he's activated those 2 panels. He's gotta do the 2 more that just came down. And then, Spalko will get absolutely wrecked by knowing too much. Does anyone else feel like, on top of everything that the movie did wrong, her disappearance into another world was also very underwhelming? Nicefighter's doing kind of a risky strat with dodging these lasers. I don't know if it's something I would choose to do. Like, to be fair, I usually walk around the outside when it is definitely faster to walk around the inside if you can. That's how circles work. Revolutions. Yes, now he must escape. Escape from Akator, in fact, the name of the level. Only the third level in the game that has escape in it. Had escaped the Russians in Act 1, then there was Ant escape in Act 2. Now we're escape from Akator. A different route opens up here. I feel like at this point in the level and story mode, you also still have Mac. So I guess Mac survives in this game. That's cool. Mac survives and doesn't become a triple agent. I don't know. I haven't read the storybooks. So this game actually doesn't have cutscenes except for when you first start the game and when you 100% the island. There are two cutscenes in this game, but what there is in story mode are books, reading. You can read all about the story. All right, so this section is a real pain because you're supposed to wait for your partner. However, in free play we have a unique way of getting around this, and that is going to be using this panel over here that you can punch with a heavy or strong character. Go through that and then go back through. That is partner warp. You need your partner to step on that panel and open this. Alright, I think I'm watching in a couple seconds delay, so when I say time, I'm going to try and call time perfectly, but I might be slightly wrong. Yeah, he goes through this room and he's going to just die on purpose, and I will predict that's time now. 1:12:14 says nicefighter. Well, I hope you were local recording that, because that's a PB for you. So, nice job. That was a pretty clean run. Not too many mistakes at all. You were not local recording. Well, that's a bit tough. Anyway. Yeah, GG on the run. It was good to commentate for you. Now I will be going to bed. But yes, thank you everyone for donating. It has been awesome to have already raised over 700 on day one. There's going to be one more run tonight. Note KO running Batman, and there's also the incentive that has been met for the hostage rush too. And yeah, in terms of this game, I guess another person who found strats would be Mr. Guy Average, who ran the PSP version of this game a while back. But yes, I personally do not have anything left to say. Thank you for having me on tonight, and thank you nicefighter for inviting me. Thank you for that run. That was awesome. Alrighty.